Olympics set to ban all transgender athletes for early 2028, but row rages over whether those with Amen Khalif's reported condition will be able to compete. It's long overdue. A ban on transgender women competitors is strongly expected to be in place for the 2028 Olympics, but it remains unclear if there will be barriers against athletes with differences of sexual development (DSD) after the boxing furor at Paris 2024. Now, this is the one thing that I am prepared to give a little bit of an olive branch on. Say how people that have that are like hermaphrodites and stuff like that, where they're like, well, where the hell do I go? That's fine. That's up for discussion. As a kind of a, this is a very good point actually, because there are some people that, although extraordinarily rare, those people where it's kind of like, what bathroom do I use and everything. That's a good question. That is something that should be discussed because that's fucking nobody's fault. Like that's nobody's fault at all. So I'm fine with that being up for discussion. However, the trans stuff, like men should not be competing in women's sports. Under the existing rules, each sport is empowered to decide if transgender women can compete if their testosterone levels fall below a designated threshold. However, they still went through puberty with all that testosterone. They've got higher bone density, quick twitch muscle fibers, all that stuff. Doesn't matter what you do, even if your testosterone's low, they still have an edge. They still have an edge over the competition. But the International Olympic Committee, under new president Kirsty Coventry, is in discussions about a dramatic policy shift that would impose a blanket ban across all sports for the Los Angeles Games. Such a move would prevent the kind of scenario that saw Laurel Hubbard contest the weightlifting at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. Hubbard transitioned in 2012. While Olympic sources have confirmed that such a measure is very much the direction of travel, it is highly unlikely to come into force before the Winter Olympics in Italy next February. One report suggested that a rule change could be announced in February, but insiders estimated it might take between 6 months and a year for it to be approved and cleared. The move would be seen as a box ticked by Coventry, who campaigned to protect the female category on her way to winning the presidential election earlier this year. Laurel Hubbard of New Zealand is the strong woman contender. They did pop their arm once, and that's one thing is like, I like lifting weights. I do deadlifts all the time. Really love doing deadlifts. Don't know why. I will never do a clean and jerk purely because I've spent a lot of time on Live Leak. And I have seen too many clean and jerks just go horrifically wrong, and I will never do one. I will never ever do a clean and jerk. It's the same reason why I won't arm wrestle anyone because I've seen, again, I've spent way too much time on Live Leak, and there's a lot of things that I'm just afraid of now. Uh, it would also avoid any awkward flashpoints with Donald Trump in the build up to the LA Olympics. In February, the US president signed an executive order to prevent transgender women from competing in female sport. Such has been the focus on this area that a presentation was delivered by IOC Medical, Health and Science Director Dr. Jane Thornton to members in Lausanne last week, which included a science based review around trans and DSD issues. The IOC denied that any decision has been made on either front, and it is understood that there has not yet been a presentation to the Executive Board, which next convenes in December. An IOC statement to Daily Mail Sport read, an update was given by the IOC's Director of Health, Medicine and Science to the IOC members last week during the IOC Commission meetings. The working group is continuing its discussions in this topic, and no decisions have been taken yet. So they're basically moving to do it, but they've not actually done it yet. Among the points stressed in that presentation was the distinction between transgender and DSD in athletes who have male chromosomes but were raised as female. On the latter, which led to immense controversy at the boxing at Paris 2024, the future landscape is less clear. And I do understand how that bit's a little bit muddy. I completely understand why that one's a little bit muddy, because that's not just some guy in a dress or whatever. That is someone with like a genuine like medical condition that has caused that. So that I'm fine for that being discussed. It is understood that a rule change around DSD athletes is considered likely in the long run, but faces internal opposition, according to Daily Mail sports sources. That separate branch of the debate led to fury in Paris last year when Algeria's Amen Khalif and Lin Yuting of Taiwan won boxing gold medals after being disqualified from the World Championships in 2023 for reportedly failing gender eligibility tests. The IOC Executive Committee, which included Coventry at the time, faced huge criticism for permitting them to fight. Now, women's sports should be kept for females, right? Because you get loads and loads of women who they train really, really hard. By the way, the Olympians train fucking hard. By the way, like they're because they treat it as like a job. Like this is the thing is they usually have like an everyday day job as well, and then they spend every other waking second like training, right? And imagine like now women, unfortunately, you're not the strongest, you're not the fastest, right? Sorry, it's just the way things are. That's why you need us, the big manly men, there to protect you, right? It'll be us that fights the saber tooth while you run away with the children. That's just the way it is and the way it always should be, right? But still, but then you're getting these women that are very, very athletic, very, very strong, very, very fast for a woman. I'm kidding on. Female Olympic runners could easily fucking outrun me. But basically, if you're going up against a man, essentially a biological man, that person has an edge over you, right? And you're getting so many of them where they're always placing first. All these trans women are placing first, and it's not fair, right? Because yeah, I get that some people are born taller, some people are born faster, some people are born with quick twitch, some aren't. I totally get that, right? But this is something else entirely. Right, for example, I do deadlifts. I'm never going to be Eddie Hall, right? Eddie Hall's a fucking genetic freak, right? I'm never going to be Hal Thorbjornsson. They're genetic freaks. They're also full of roids, but still, like some people are just born lucky. However, when you allow biological men to compete in women's sports, that is going to cause problems because they will have the bone density, the testosterone, the strength, and even though they're sitting there saying, "Oh, but I'm taking stuff that's lowering my testosterone, I'm doing this and that and everything to bring it down," yeah, whatever. But you still went through puberty with testosterone. That made your body give you nice broad shoulders, them nice fast legs, big strong legs, and everything like that. You have an edge. It's not fair. It's almost biological doping, if you want to call it that. Well, but I'm not on the stuff anymore. Yeah, but still, look at the fucking size of you. Right? It's not fair on women. Like, a lot of women in women's sports work very, very fucking hard just to go all the way there and get beaten by a man. Right? It's not fair. It's not a fair way to do things, right? So the fact that this rule change comes through, this is one thing I've always said. Why don't trans athletes just form their own division? Just do your own division. You could have a... I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Right, have your own division. You can LGBTQ, LMNOP, the entire thing up. You'll get sponsors, you'll get people that will fund it. All the lefties will come and buy tickets. They probably won't. They don't have money. Right? That's what you should do. Just form your own division. There you are. You get to compete in sports. You get to see who's the best and everything. And you have your own division. And it's completely fucking controlled by you. All the fucking rule changes and everything is all up to you. You have complete control over the entire thing. So no more controversy. No more, getting shit for everybody. Just have your own division. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's going to care, but it's like your own division. That's fine. That's completely fair then. Just do that. But you're not doing that. You're pushing yourselves into all of these situations where you're knocking women down to like second, third, and fourth place and stuff like that when they've worked hard and they've earned that. Right, that's the thing is everybody says that, oh, such and such trans women came first and then here's second place. Everybody says second place is the true first place. Right, whatever the next woman is down on the list, that's the true first place. Right, and it's just not fair on them. It's not fair.